All right, so we have calculated the mean, median, and mode on our data set that we've gathered here with our caliper measurement. So we are going to now go ahead and start to do a standard deviation on that particular measurement. So remember, the standard deviation, as we take a look at it, remember what the formula was. So your standard deviation, the symbol being the Greek symbol sigma, equals the square root of the sum of the individual data values minus the mean squared divided by the size of the population. And we talked earlier about the procedure to go ahead and do this. So we're going to start by calculating the mean. We're going to then subtract the mean from each value in our data set and square the difference. We will then sum all of those squared differences, and then we'll divide the summation by the size of the population. So to finalize and get the square root calculation. So let's go ahead and get this started. Now, we don't need to calculate the mean here because we already did that. We calculated it right up here. So I'm going to copy this, and we'll just go ahead and paste this right on into our data, our information. So, and here is all of the values from our particular data set. So we are going to take each of these and subtract our mean from those. So let me go ahead and kind of get this broken up here. So we'll kind of delete some of this out. So let's go ahead and place this here. So all right, so as I take a look at this, so we're going to say 1.27 minus 1.2768 and then come up with the equals here. So let's go ahead and do this. So equals, so let's get the calculator out here and clear this out. We'll say 1.265 minus 1.2768 equals a minus 0.0118. Now, we don't need to worry about minus signs because, as you recall, we're going to be squaring these. So and if we take a negative number times a negative number, we will end up with a positive value. So let's go ahead and square this. So let's hit the x squared button here. And we get with a value here. So I'm going to go ahead and tab over on this. So that is going to be 0.0001394. Now, you don't have to, you can go ahead and carry out those values for right now for the purpose of this activity. So let's go ahead and hit the next one here. So let me come back. So our next value is the 1.267. So let's kind of do the same here. So, as a matter of fact, I think in this case, just to help us out, we'll go ahead and put each of these on their own line. So as we kind of take a look at these, so just go ahead and I'll spread these out. Probably should have had that done before. We'll come back to this. All right, so here's 1.267 minus the 1.2768 equals, so let's go ahead and figure this out. 1.267 minus 1.2768 equals, so this is going to be negative 0.0098. So I'll tab it over a little bit here for this one. Let's go ahead and square that. That's a 0. Oh, sorry, I messed that up. So I was typing it in the wrong one. So let's kind of do that again. 0.0098 squared. Over here then, we're going to have 0.00009604. So our next data here is going to be 1.271 minus 1.2768 equals. So let's see what that one brings. So here, 1.267 minus 1.2768 is a negative. I think I did that one wrong. Let's kind of back up for a second. 1.271 minus 1.2768 equals, there you go, So I thought something was going not quite right here. Negative 0.0058. So, and we will square that. 0.00003364. So moving on here to the 1.276 minus 1.2768 equals, let's see what this one brings up. 1.271 minus 1.2768. I keep looking at the wrong one up there, so see what I'm doing. So I gotta, that's the other issue as you're taking a look at this, make sure you're entering the right values. So 1.276 minus 1.2768 equals, so here we're at negative 0.008. So 0.008. Let's square root that. So square it. We end up with a 1 or 0.00000064 here with that number. All right, so now we're back down into the next set here. So let's go ahead and kind of enter some of these and get them on their own line so we can kind of take care of that as well. Now, have some patience with me. I am going through this to just kind of make sure that you are aware of how we are actually coming up and doing all of this mathematical calculation here. So in the future video, I will show you there is, of course, some easier ways for us to kind of do this, but I want you to make sure that you are understanding what's going on when we're doing these particular calculations. All right, so let's go ahead. Now we should start to get some positive numbers. 1.277 minus 1.2768 equals 0.0002. So we'll go ahead and take the square root of that. So, okay, 0.1234567. 4. So I think it was easier there for me just to count the number of zeros and add the 4 to it. So let's move on here to the next one. 1.279 minus 1.2768 equals, let's clear this out. 1.279 minus 1.2768. I know this is a lot of this is redundant, so it's just a matter of plugging numbers in. So let's go ahead and square that. So, and getting that information kind of where you need it. So 0-12345 zeros 484 on this one. So minus 1.2768 equals, let's calculate this out, 1.281. See if I can get through this fast enough. Minus the 1.2768. So minus the 1.2768 equals 0.0042. Go ahead and square root this one. 0.0001764. Oh, missed a zero. Make sure that you have all of your zeros in place. So 1.282 minus 1.2768 equals 1.282 minus 1.2768. So here we're at the 0.0052. Let's go ahead and square root that. 0.00002704. Next one's going to be 1.284 minus 1.2768 equals, let's go ahead and figure this one. We're almost done, so bear with us. So 1.2768 equals the 0.0072. So, and square root this one. So 0 0.00005184. So, and looks like I think we are almost here to our last one. So 1.286 minus 1.2768 equals, well, let's figure out the same thing, 1.286 minus 1.2768 equals 0.0092. So let's go ahead and square root this one. 0.00008464. So there we go. So we have all of our numbers in terms of our data set squared. So the next step that will be required to do will be the sum of all squared differences. So I'm going to kind of end the video here on calculating standard deviation. So of course, as you get into and as you're looking through the Math for Manufacturing worksheet, you can kind of see it does also go through step-by-step process and procedure here. So make sure that you're kind of, if you're having problems struggling and kind of following along with me when we're doing this, make sure you're going through the worksheets to understand what's going on here as well.